This is a Dyson charger hanging station. I'm going to show you how to install it properly. Up top, you don't exactly have to measure, but if you have something down below, what you want to do is hold this in a certain spot, then hold the Dyson up to it, and make sure you just have clearance on the bottom, that it dangles. You get a couple inches off the floor. You want to make sure that it doesn't hit on the floor where you put this. So what I do is put it up here, then I dangle the Dyson. Again, I don't have three hands, so I'm just going back and forth. And then I make a little mark up here with some pencil, and then I just go through with the install. When you make your mark, you can either make it up here on the line with the pencil, or you can just make some marks right here where you actually want to put the screws into. Got the marks in there. I tend to do crosses, dots, whatever works for you. We go ahead and take this down. What we need to do is get into this right here. This has the mollies and the actual screws in it. That's what comes in the kit. It's very basic. 2 mollies, 2 screws. If you are installing directly into wood, then you just need the screws, or if your drywall has wood directly behind it, you can just use the screws. If you try to put these in, it's just gonna mess them all up and they're gonna have a little bit of a hole. The instructions that this came with doesn't actually say what size of a bit to use. It just says to go ahead and put them in the walls. So right here is a 3/16, I believe it is, yeah. What I usually do when I'm looking at these is you want it just slightly smaller than right here. You want it tight. You don't want it loose at all, or this whole thing's just gonna fall out. And you don't want it as big as these fins. So just slightly smaller than here. And I hold that up. Can't really see that great with the camera. The drill bit is slightly smaller than that, so go ahead and make the drill holes with the bit. For anyone that hasn't used a drill before, what you want to do, if I get this to focus, is to drill clockwise with the drill, so that will drill into it. If you're going the other way, it's gonna be really hard. You're not really gonna drill anything. You're just gonna tear the wall up. So make sure to go clockwise so it digs in into the drywall. They're there, and I didn't film myself tapping them in because I don't have 3 hands. Once you get it partially in, if it starts to bend, you can pull that out and you can put something in there like an insulated screwdriver and just work it around slightly in a circle to barely open that a little bit, pull the screwdriver out, and then push this in further. And that does seem to work when everything is just a little bit tight. That's what I do. But make sure it's insulated just in case there's something electrical open up there. You don't shock yourself. The hinge for this goes at the top. If you hang it upside down, you're gonna have a lot of problems. So go ahead and put that in. You don't have to get it super tight. You don't want to strip anything out or pull that molly out of the wall or make it rotate. Just tight enough that this does stick and doesn't have any give to it. There we have it on. I failed to get this perfectly level. It's got a little bit of give on it. Before you get it super tight, you can push back or forth one way or the other and get it more level. I did not measure very well. I did that with my eyes. At this point, resist the urge to put this on and snap it on there. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get off if you do so. What we need to do is route the power cord up and through here, so when you mount the thing, it charges basically automatically. You put it in here and it points up and just starts charging. But yeah, we got to route that through the back. This goes up through here. I'll try to do this with one hand. It's supposed to sit flush. This is how you want it to look, and it does stick a little to the left there, which is why it routes through here. So we go ahead and get that all pushed in. I've got it in right there. Don't use a screwdriver or anything sharp to push this in if you can't get it with your fingers. Just keep pushing with your fingers and working back and forth. This is somewhat soft, rubbery plastic type stuff, and you don't want to puncture these wires. Then this whole thing we're doing would be useless. Right here, we snap this down. If you do one side or the other, it's gonna stick to that side. So you wanna go straight down in the middle. See right there? I've got it off to one side and it doesn't work well doing that. There we have it, even on both sides. It should sit in there perfectly flush. If it doesn't, then there might be something wrong up in here and you want to go ahead and take a look at that. But this one is down as designed. At this point, we go ahead and pop this in there. Everything else is installed as it should be. And just go straight in with it and it will snap into place. There we go, and just try to push straight back. And then down here, you want to make sure that right there it is through that hole they give you right there. And then you just go ahead and push. I push that back, now it's flush with the wall. Don't hang on this or put this down with any force on here, because if it's just hanging in drywall, eventually this thing will just fall, and don't want your Dyson falling on the floor. There you have it. Go ahead and put that in there and it will charge. Granted, that needs to be plugged in. Go ahead and set it in. Don't drop it. Like I said, you start doing that over time, it will mess the wall up. It is charging. I hope this helped. Thanks for watching.
This is a very tight space.